I have never been able really to figure out where my life begins and where it ends.
Jonas Mekas isn't the usual filmmaker. He tells a story, but there's no script. No big narrative with complicated plots and complex character arcs. Instead, he captured the world. Not the grand events, but the little things. As I was moving ahead, occasionally I saw brief glimpses of beauty is a 5-hour documentary made from 30 years of Jonas's home videos.
So when I began now to put all these rolls of film together, the first idea was to keep them chronological. But then I gave up and I just began splicing them together by chance, the way that I found them on the shelf. Because I really don't know where any piece of my life really belongs.
There's no story, really. But the purpose of this film isn't to tell a story. As I Was Moving Ahead represents the human memory. It's not long, clear, and easily understood scenes. It's blurry. It rarely makes sense. And it's not always the significant things you remember. It doesn't ever give you a full grasp on the story. Instead, it evokes a feeling. Happiness, peace, sadness, all leaving you wanting more to fully play out. But that's not what the human memory is. As I Was Moving Ahead, at times, is actually really boring. Some of it feels pointless, like, why am I looking at a random pile of rocks or a random stream of water? But that's exactly what the film is meant to show. The random and sometimes boringness of life. And how those boring moments are what makes up the beauty of life. Jonas was born in 1922 in Lithuania, but didn't move to America and begin filmmaking until 1949.
I felt that with my Lithuanian language in the West, I cannot communicate to anybody. Lithuanian language is practically unknown. People don't even know where Lithuania is now.
Growing up in the village, going to school, he learned, of course, the language there. And then when he went up to the school, the formal teaching, he realized that the language he learned was not the proper Lithuanian language, but with just a dialect of it. So in school he had to learn the proper Lithuanian language.
So I gravitated, I think, from necessity to cinema as a language through which, I could talk to everybody and tell, about where I come from, what's happening to my country, what's happening to all those countries.
And then people from Hollywood came looking at to the films and saying, "What are you doing? What is this?" And he had to realize that he did not do the right film, that he learned the wrong language of films.
This language was not universal, and there are like dialects, same as like in language, same in cinema. There is this little, I gravitated to this little almost dialect, little minority that speaks only in avant-garde film language, and therefore I'm still as inaccessible to the masses as I was with my Lithuanian language.
Avant-garde films aren't always meant for entertainment. You wouldn't watch something like this on family movie night, but they are meant to experiment with new ways of expression.
What's important about the underground cinema, that it's not important at all. That underground filmmakers are not taking themselves seriously. They are among the only artists today who are not considering that they're doing anything important. They're just playing, having a good time. I would say it's a very joyful occupation or joyful pastime. Just, turning your camera on your friends, on the things you really like without, going to painful productions, raising money and suffering and dealing with all kinds, going through crookeries to make a film. You have $3, you buy a roll of film and you make a film.
Jonas's career was intertwined with the underground art scene, where he met many other well-known experimental artists with similar visions and a passion for breaking the norm.
I ran Filmmakers Cinematheque and Filmmakers Cooperative, and those were very busy places for the 60s New York art scene, and that of course included filmmakers and musicians and painters, etc. And and that's where I met everybody, that's including Lou Reed.
I've worked with Jonas Mekas all these years. He gave us the first place to play with Andy Warhol in the Velvet Underground. Everything he does is very worthwhile.
And everybody, every evening, everybody was there, from Salvador Dali to Andy Warhol to just name anybody. It was a very busy, exciting period. And then one day, somebody said, "Today is Andy's birthday. Come and meet Andy." I said, "Andy? Andy will be there." So, "You know Andy." I said, "I don't know Andy." So, "You don't know Andy? He has been watching movies in your loft for months, sitting there on the floor, and you don't know Andy?" I don't know. All kinds of people come, to my loft. I don't know who Andy is.
Last Saturday, I was present at a historical occasion, the shooting of Andy Warhol's epic Empire. From 8 p.m. until dawn, the camera was pointed at the Empire State Building. The camera never moved once. I set up the camera already, and I framed it. It's my framing. And then Andy told to Andy to check if it's okay. And he looked, he said, "Yes, it's okay, go ahead." Cinema is contagious, of course. He opened himself very completely to possibilities of cinema. The underground cinema creates something new, builds, we are building. We all learn a little bit of this, a little bit of that, from here and from there. A quote from Kabbalah. The only evil that there is, it is when things don't move.
Working with all these people and being a part of the underground art scene led him to his first diary film, Walden, and the style he would become known for. While he technically was a documentary filmmaker, Jonas wasn't finding the huge events and turning them into elaborate stories. He simply documented life.
I am not really a filmmaker. I do not make films. I just film. I'm most obsessed with filming. I'm really a filmer. I'm not a thinker. I don't think. I don't invent ideas. I live in the present moment, and what I do, I react to what is around me. It's like I say that my filming is like kung fu, like reactive, like with no thinking. If you begin to think, you are done. You are finished. You must, by now, come to a realization that what you are seeing is a sort of masterpiece of nothing. Nothing. And I don't even make films.
Pardon me?
I do not make films. I only film.
Yeah.
And then I put those pieces together and I show it. You see, to make a film, you have an idea, and you have a script maybe, and you follow, you make a film. You make something that you had in mind to make. I never have anything in my mind. I never want to make anything. You must have noticed my obsession with what's considered as nothing.
Jonas went on to make many other diary films, including Reminiscences of a Journey to Lithuania, where he documented a trip to his hometown. Lost, where he showed his experience moving and adjusting to American life. And Scenes from the Life of Andy Warhol, which is as the title suggests. While all of these showcase parts of Jonas's life, As I Was Moving Ahead showed the whole thing. But it wasn't all for show. It was an attempt for Jonas to understand.
So here I am, just myself and cats and my images and my sounds and myself, wondering about myself. Sorry that nothing extraordinary has so far happened in this movie.
The pain is stronger than ever. I have seen bits of lost paradises, and I know that I will be hopelessly trying to return, even if it hurts. The deeper I swing into the regions of nothingness, the further I am thrown back into myself, each time more and more frightening depth below me, until my very being becomes dizzy.
And the mist now covers the sand. And the mist now covers the sand. I have been so totally for so long.
I saw it in your eyes, in your love. You too are swinging towards the depths of your own being in longer and longer circles. I saw happiness and pain in your eyes and reflections of the paradises lost and regained and lost again, that terrible loneliness and happiness, yes, and I reflect upon this, and I think about you like two lonely space pilots in outer cold space as I sit here this late night alone, and I think about all this.
Without knowing, unknowingly, we carry, each of us, we carry with us somewhere deep some images of paradise. Memories, image, sound, memories, memories. They come and go in no particular order. I remember this, I remember that, places, faces, situations. They come and go, they come and go. You expect to find out more about the protagonist, that is me, the protagonist of this movie. So I do not want to disappoint you. All I want to tell you, it's all here. I am in every image of this film. I am in every frame of this film. The other thing is, you have to know